今天想跟大家分享一段来自 David Ryan 讲关于在逆市中应该如何应对的剪辑影片。如果你不知道他是谁，他是一位股票投资者，以在1985年至1990年间3次赢得美国投资锦标赛而闻名。在1985年到1987年3年期间达到回报13倍多。他曾经是基金经理，在金融怪杰一直被列为美国金融操作人员必读的书籍之一里面其中一个被访问的人，所以很值得看。如果你是那些过分沉迷价值投资的人，这支影片不适合你，因为它不是用价值投资策略，而且价值投资永远不可能每年有3位数的回报，它也不会越跌越买。我看到了一些朋友的留言，关于我不是用价值投资策略，然后又用保证金批评之类的。第一，我用什么策略不知道；第二是赚是赔都影响不了其他人，所以我觉得真的很好笑，不知道那些人是什么心态。就像我在打自由搏击，一直是出拳，然后突然出腿，他们就感到很失望。那些人可能忘记了自由搏击的目标是以最快的速度把对方击倒，出拳还是出腿很重要吗？废话不多说，马上开始吧。
Let me just talk about bear market strategies. These are some of the points that I wrote down that I thought maybe could help. Number one goal is that you don't want to lose lots of money. You just don't want to give back everything that you gained in the prior bull market. And that's why selling is so important, to preserve the gains. I've always said if you can get out within 10%, maybe even 15% of your high equity mark, you're doing a pretty good job, because sometimes the tops can be very violent and you can lose a lot very, very quickly. But once you recognize, hey, this is not a good market, then you really have to go to a lot of cash. And I just read the other day that since 1928, a bear market occurs every 4 years. So you have to know that sooner or later something's going to start. And then the second point is focus on the price action of your stocks much more than the fundamentals. I mean, the fundamentals are looking back, and the price action is actually lots of times, what you're seeing in the market today is reflecting where the fundamentals are actually going to be 3 to 6 months time period. So if you see stocks starting to break down, you see the market, the index is starting to break down, it's telling you that fundamentals are probably going to change. So don't focus on what's already been reported, but more on the price action. And then third point, and this is that this is what William O'Neill actually, when I was looking at, I was going through and looking at his comments on bear markets, he said the typical bear market usually has 3 separate phases or legs of a decline, interrupted by a couple of rallies that last just long enough to convince investors to begin buying. So, and some of these bear market rallies can actually last 15 weeks. And most don't last that long. And so far in our, since we've seen the top late last year, we had really a 2-week bear market rally, and then things came off again. So, and then also, I wouldn't try to pick the fourth point. I wouldn't try to pick the exact bottom. Don't think the goal is to get in at the bottom and say, oh, I bought that bottom day. It is much better to be late and wait for the market to actually build a base, build a bottom, and then start turning and following through. So don't be in a hurry. The goal is not the bottom day. The goal is to wait for the turn to set up. And in many cases, you get retests of lows where, even the buying that was done on Friday and on Monday, that might not be, even in a bear market rally, they could come down and retest and then have a 2-week or a 3-week rally. So just wait, be patient. And most bottoms don't hit a low and then go straight back up. Most have retests. So as I said, watch for changes in the price and volume relationships of the move off the bottom. And then I've always found too is that right after you've hit the bottom and you rally up and you come back down, maybe for a retest or even just a partial drift, that's where the pessimism seems to get the heaviest, because everybody's going, oh boy, we've rallied and now here we go down again. So be careful of that, because sometimes you might be early in buying and seeing these setups and then get shaken out on the last little turn. And then the other thing, the longer and deeper the drop, the longer it's going to have to build a base. And that's what happened in 2020. The market topped out, and it took 3 years for the market to pull back down to actually build a base. And then even so that was in July of 2003 where the market finally based. July 2009, it took the market a while to recover. So the bigger the drop, the longer the drop, the longer it's going to take to recover, because it just takes people, they have to get their confidence back to move back in. The last other things that are important is cash is good. Don't fall for that saying TINA, T-I-N-A, which is there is no alternative. Cash is a great place to be in a bear market. So many people think they have to be invested all the time, but no, if the market is not giving you what your discipline is dictating, then there's no reason to be in the market. There are always going to be a few special situations that are making progress in a bear market, but it's much, much harder to make money. If I look back over 40 years, where did I make 99% of my money? It was in a bull market. Did I make much money in a bear market? No, I probably lost a little money in bear markets, but I kept most of what I had in the bull market. And that's your goal, is not to lose back. So many people, they're on this roller coaster investing cycle. They make money in a bull market. They give it all back in a bear market. They make it in a bull market and they give it back. And it just goes on and on. But go to cash, wait, be patient, and then wait for these setups to occur, look for the volume changes, and then stay positive. I've never seen a pessimist make money, big money in the markets. Always be looking for the next setup in a stock. And we're talking about now, and even the names that we're going over today, maybe they'll make some progress, but you're not going to make as much. It's not going to be the gains that you can achieve when you're in a really great market. This is more capital preservation, maybe making a few trades in here and there and a little progress, but it's much, much different. I think someone had a question about where your cash levels. My cash levels are at probably 90%. And the money that I'm using now is just almost to just get feedback from the market. Is it starting to turn? Can we get a decent rally? But we got lots of overhead above us, so that's why I say be very cautious.